Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final week of Britball with the Breens. We're a bit different this week. We don't have many games at all. Both me, Chris, and Steve have been incredibly busy this week, so we never even managed to sort out a guest. However, we have got a slightly different format for tonight. We will do our normal stuff, but we have been sent in a lot of plays this week, so we will show more plays than normal. We'll take you through the games that are going ahead, our game of the week, and we'll go from there. So I guess the first thing for us, again, is the Wolves are playing again this week. They've got a big match against East Kilbride. As we've said previously in the season, we're waiting for our T-shirts. So we've got our T-shirts in finally for John. Again, for you who don't know, an ex-teammate of mine that played for the Wolves is suffering from stage 4 cancer. So we're trying to raise as much money as we can for him. And really, we've ordered these tops weeks ago, but they took weeks and weeks to come. Again, tonight, we've seen some really good fixtures last week. Some really weird results last week. Yeah, some proper shockers, which some I think we could probably explain, and some we can't. Like I'm not quite sure how Birmingham went from having a really competitive game to almost losing to Swindon, but I could only guess that that's because they were maybe playing their rookies or their backups to try and get them game time before the end of the season. This week we'll share our screen again and do the normal. We'll share our screen because there's no cancelled games we know of this week. They're all going ahead, so we've still got our fallen lot, but no COVID cancelled, no broken or safety cancelled, no scumbag moves this week. So I guess the thing for us is that's even though there's minimal games, that's 2 weeks in a row that we've now had a clean slate, and hopefully that is the case because the weather has been absolutely horrendous up north. I don't know if it is in the same down in parts of England and south of Scotland, but it's been absolutely horrendous up here this today. So we've got nothing there. So what we'll do is we will go into our plays of the week. Now there is a lot of them this week, so not like the normal format. There's a lot of them. Just before we go in, just share that comment from our dad. So if you didn't, obviously one of the other groups we support is Brain Injury Grampian, which is a group for people with brain injuries that and it's run, and our dad attends it, and they had their first meeting in I think before COVID this week. They went out for a nice lunch and had a raffle, and I think it was all enjoyed by all. It's a great thing. We know how much it helps our dad, so it's a great thing if anyone can lend any support, then head across. Obviously, if you can lend any support to John, either by buying T-shirts that are on the Wolves Football America custom page, or you can also go on and onto his link, which we can share later on, and you can donate on there. So our plays of the week, we have a fair few, as I've said. Evening, Russell.
Yeah, as I say, thanks for tuning in again, Russell. I know your season's finished, but there's still a few games left to go.
Yeah,
with a delayed start to the season, so thanks for being with us.
One thing, actually, we've actually found out now as well that we will be down in London from the 13th of October to the 18th. I know we'd spoke to a few people about potentially coming to meet you, so we will be down that week. So we will get in touch with you on our Twitter or our Instagram page. Plays, so that you've been sent loads.
Yeah, I mean the thing is we started the season, we couldn't get anything. And then a couple of weeks in, we were getting sent an absolute bucket load of them. And then the dry spell started again. It went a bit barren. And last week we had to just pick them up all from highlights from one game. And to be fair, there was about 10 plays we could have picked in that game anyway. And then all of a sudden, with sort of the last week of the season for most teams, particularly the teams down in England, we had a bit of an explosion again. And apparently, what had your name in the spotlight? So, it's great to see. And because obviously we don't have as many games this week, we'll take a bit of time. And you know what? We'll run through a few more of them. There's not just going to be 3. And obviously, because it's just the 2 of us, we'll just pick our favourite between the 2 of us as we go through.
Going forward as well, what we will do is, although this is our last live show this season, what we will do is we'll still be putting out articles about the games and the results, and we will still put up a play of the week on Gridiron Hub that we select ourselves, or we'll maybe try and get 3 up and choose one between ourselves. But there's a good selection this week, let's say. So this first one, I don't know what this guy's actual name is. Tom Farnell. Sorry, it's up on the screen there. Now, I seen this on our Instagram. He's a QB. And actually, no, is he the receiver?
Yeah, he's the receiver.
He's the receiver, sorry. This play in general, though, is an absolute cracker. So, Chris, if you let this one run.
Unfortunately, I can't make it any bigger, but we'll still run through it anyway. So this is from the game against Swindon.
QB.
See.
Yeah, receiver. QB steps back. Lob in the end zone. Oh,
super slow-mo, and gets the knee down and bounds as well. I mean, it looked hella tight at the end there, actually. To see if he actually got that knee down, but no, it looks good. Get up, nice vertical, and makes it down. Good play all around. So
I mean, for here as well, as the QB is rolling out to his weak side, backpedaling, this throw is inch perfect in the back corner of the end zone here, and the receiver makes an absolutely brilliant grab.
I mean, there's only one person catching this ball, and that's kind of what you're taught to do in that situation. Give your receiver a chance, but make sure he's the only one with a chance. It's right in the right spot. It's a brilliant throw, and it's an unbelievable catch as well. Yeah. It's a great play from that game as well, and not the only play we have from that game either.
So Tom, cracking catch. Kudos to your QB as well.
Who actually is a way to get a bit more kudos, I think, actually.
Oh, is he on this next one, is he?
This one comes up properly.
Sometimes it just doesn't loading while we're on live show.
Apparently my internet's a bit slow. So here we go. Oh, sound. Didn't want sound. Okay, so, oh God, it's went really, really grim.
It doesn't look grim on the live stream, but it looks grim on our
screen's
screen.
Quite big, so... Again, quarterback on the scramble, and sick Michael Jordan Space Jam dive to make sure he gets into the end zone. I believe that's the GIF I responded to him with, actually. Good play, reach, gets to the pylon, and it's a great touchdown. He makes the right decision to take off, breaks the tackle, and it's a sick reach. So absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if he explained to me when it was. That started off the second half comeback, so it's certainly one way to start it off. And you'll see I did actually respond with the Michael Jordan Space Jam one for it. So apparently my sense of humor is not too bad.
I'm guessing Tom is.
I think
QB.
No, he's the receiver.
What, is he? I don't think so.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. He's obviously got a different name on Facebook. I'm the same, mate.
Keeping himself hidden.
I don't have my real name on Facebook.
Another play we've got has come from one of our star contributors this year, and I've told him to absolutely chill before, but apparently he doesn't get the memo.
No, I think we'll call him the most dangerous special teamer in Britball.
I mean, certainly he's definitely competing for that title. I mean, I know there was a guy that played, I want to say he played Warriors. For the Warriors. He played for GB, and he was an unreal returner. But hey, Sam's creeping up there. I mean, this is sick. One thing I would like to point out about this return, and I spoke to Sam about it, is one of the blockers on this run ate an absolutely monster pancake on his behalf. So I hope he bought him a beer after the game. It's this man down here. You'll see. Decides to take on a much larger gent than himself, and a one-way ticket to destination. Fact. So it was another good return for Sam. A great play, and I think I want to say that's his fourth return touchdown of the year. I mean, he might correct me on that, but I think, it might well be his fourth. He makes a good cut, gets to the outside, gets funnier every time I see his teammate take that block. I mean, it's beautiful.
Let's take him on for the team, though.
That is actually taking him on for the team. One more time just for good luck, So it's.
But if any GB folk are watching and you need a kick returner for your GB team, Jason, there's your guy.
Ooh.
We've seen clips from this guy all season doing this. So if you're looking for a returner for Team GB, then I think this guy's probably the most dangerous guy I've ever seen on kick returns. So
he actually sent me another one. I'll see.
Roll the tape.
Yeah, it was when he told me he'd returned another one after me telling him to chill. He did actually send us another one. If I'll just go through this way, it's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, and this was a pick six. And you've got to be on the lookout for the quarterback losing his cleats at the end, thanks to a rather nasty juke from Sam. It's a really poor throw, but he comes up, makes the interception, and the quarterback's gone the wrong way, and his ankles are broken in half.
That's disgusting.
It's a nice little juke right at the end there to finish it off. We'll absolutely love it as well. And again, it just kind of is a testament to his return skills again, because effectively once you intercept the ball, that's all this turns into, isn't it? It's just another kick return, really. And it's another touchdown for his team. I'd love to know how many he's actually racked up from the defensive and special team side of the ball in total, but he's been all over all year. So, kudos to Sam for once again doing it on special teams.
Free safety returners is a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
It seems so. I was never that good at returning when I played free safety.
You weren't as fast as that, though. That was kind of half the problem.
I'm nowhere near that fast.
We also got this one sent in from the Essex Spartans. One of their got sound again. One of their many touchdowns of the week, which I'll get to in a minute. They tried to brighten it up for me after me criticising what it looked like on screen a few weeks back, so it's a lot better. It's a nice outside fade to the end zone. I think it's actually a few yards short, and the receiver wins the one-on-one and breaks the tackle to get into the end zone. So it's a nice play all round.
Deep throw. I mean, he's got plenty of protection here, but it's some arm just to get it out there.
I mean, one thing I spoke about when I was messaging the team with regards to getting some clips in is what's been extremely apparent is these guys have a rather tasty O-line on them. And I think it's most aptly demonstrated by the running back on this pass protection, who I'm not even sure breaks out of his stance. No. I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything. He's just standing there looking at I don't know what. It's the O-line does a really good job there, and it's another nice play. Now, the reason I say that the Spartans have been in touch, I don't actually want to open too much of this, to be honest, but we'll scroll up nice and quick. So we've got touchdown 1. Oh, sound. Oh, there we go. Speaking about the O-line, again, nice and easy.
73 looks like a unit.
Straight through.
He's like 6. He's like what? 5 feet 9 there, but 5 feet 9 wide.
That's a great. I mean, I'm curious. It's such a big looking set of guys on the offensive line.
79 is a big dude as well. 76 is a big dude. Some big lads on that offensive line.
And as I say, the running back goes through and he's completely untouched. Seems to have freaked out a little bit, so I'll just come away from that one.
You can just close the window down and go back to your notifications.
Yeah, I don't really want to go through the messages again. We've got a second one from the Spartans. I mean, the Spartans, I think they sent us about 6, so it was quite awesome to get all the stuff in from them. Again, it's another kudos to this big unit up front. If it's actually going to play, it seems to be really struggling just now. Can you see?
Yeah, it's just not loading properly. You've probably got too many windows open. No. It's just not loading.
I'll try closing a couple of things down, see if we can get it. You apologise for the minor technical difficulties at these times.
You can, close that one down.
Close that down as well and just see if we can. Oh.
You went onto the Northern Knights now.
No, I didn't want to go into that.
Yeah. But they've had the one thing that they have is we spoke to Spartan's head coach a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was last week we spoke to him, and he said that they've got some really good running backs, and it's quite apparent here in these clips that they've got a decent O-line and they've got some good running backs. I mean, these are all goal lines, so
yeah,
I don't know how they got in these field positions. Was it turnover and stuff? We're not sure.
And again, it is a case of like, we see a running back completely untouched. He got touched there, but he managed to bulldoze his way. And again, it's another sort of goal line touchdown. Yeah, that's what we're saying. I'll show that comment in a minute once I manage to put the volume off. This sort of comment here. Well, that's what we've been saying. It's some big dudes on that offensive line, and making an impact. I've already got touchdown 4. Yep. Sounds like somebody's been strangled.
Bart Simpson.
That's actually what it sounded like. Press play, see if that'll work.
It really doesn't like these.
No, for some reason the messenger ones, it's just having a nightmare. I normally download these, but I've been like super busy this week anyway.
What is that photo that he's? I don't know if we can. I don't know if it'll
open through here.
Open that photo.
We'll check it out later, though. See if I can. It's probably going to put the volume back on the minute I try and go back in.
It's not liking it, is it?
Right, we'll try 6.
Just as soon as you put the volume off, it just.
As soon as I try and open it up. There we go. This one's working. No, it's dead. Again, we're talking about the size of the O-line. That is an absolute monstrous right tackle right there, by the way.
Yeah.
And again, one hole straight through, all the way to the end zone. Some really nice running plays. So, some good job.
Is it 23 all the touchdowns?
No, 1 and 5 were Josh Douglas. 2 and 6 were Alex
It's Alex we had on before,
McLaughlin, and Nick Walter for the third one, and the passing TD was by Steve Cox. Nice easy day for the quarterback if he's able to hand the ball off that many times and just keep scoring the points. Can't really complain about that. But which one was your favourite?
Personally?
Yeah.
The Birmingham Bulls.
Which one?
The touchdown throw.
Touchdown.
I think the touchdown throw and the catch. As I said, the quarterback sliding to his weak side. Good arm strength. That ball is absolutely dropped on a dime, and only his player can get it, and he goes up and makes a brilliant catch. I think obviously we've seen Sam's talents all season. And it's a great return. But really, I think that's the best overall play we have this week.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think, obviously I enjoyed seeing them all, but I did like the quarterback dive to the end zone as well. I did like that one. But I think how close the receiver is to the back of the end zone when he makes that grab, and still manages to get a part of his body down to complete it. I think it's a really good play all round and not an easy thing to do as well.
Yeah, and here is Adam. We firstly have to apologise to Adam. Kind of. Adam was saying, right,
it should be the Rams
game of the week
Giants
is the Rams
for the
Giants.
Game of the week. Yeah, and if you read my, what we learned this week, I apologized in that because, you're right. We did miss on that one way. We weren't sure what it would be, and we should have listened to Adam. It definitely turned out to be the game of the week. Yeah. But as I also pointed out in our what we learned, there were some crazy scores, and I don't think I've ever been that wrong in 1 week before. So it was a bit of an eye opener of a week for us. There was upsets left, right, and center. So it was which makes it entertaining. That's what it's about. It makes it more fun when things are going completely wrong for everyone. So
Russell's got a good point here about the awareness for diving for the pylon. Now, for me, the dive for the pylon is an athletic play, like a really athletic play, but I don't think it's as hard to do and as technical as the QB throw and catch in the corner. I think that there's more things going on.
There's more elements to the catch.
But it is you have to be athletic to do that, like to switch hands and throw the the ball through the pylon is cracking play. I had one called back a few years ago that I was most definitely in for.
Can you tell he's
because I never hit the pylon, they gave me short at the half-yard line, which did nothing but hack me off. But
I mean, we watched the film about 1,000 times at Sean's request, and he was in the end zone. But you can tell he's not even remotely salty about it in the slightest.
No, not slightest. But so I think that's who we'll give our play of the week to. That'll be Tom Farnell. I think his name was it Tom Farnell?
Double check it, yeah.
So cracking play from you there, mate, and your wide receiver. That really, really top class. So we'll go on to our game of the week this week. Now, again, there's not been a post about this because all three of us have been absolutely swamped. What's he saying? Getting to the flicking through Omega with the geocam. Yeah. Me and Chris are in the same house today.
Yeah,
which is unusual.
Yeah, and the setup's not been ideal for us today, but
no.
Unfortunately.
So we've got the game of the week this week. Both us and Steve, unfortunately, didn't have time to put all this together. So our game of the week will be the Pirates versus the Wolves rematch. This game is bound to be an absolute cracker. I've seen they've moved the kickoff from 2 o'clock to 2:30. And just because we've got these t-shirts on, it's not for supporting the Wolves over the Pirates or anything. It's purely for to raise money for John. But this should be a cracking game. The Pirates took the first leg and what we call Kings of Scotland. And so many folk messaged me to say, no, the Kings of Scotland. You are in our books, right? As far as I'm concerned, whoever wins this game is the Kings of Scotland for this year at least. The Pirates came out. We thought that if the weather was bad, the Wolves would have the advantage. It actually was the total opposite. And I believe the Pirates D-line is very, very good. I believe that they stuffed the Wolves. It was a tough day sledding for the Wolves offense. And you know what? Since that game, the Wolves have put up points against every team they've played quite comfortably. Now, they need to carry that into this game and try and go after the Pirates. But it's a tough ask. Personally, I've played against EKP are Division 1. Yeah, they are. But really, the only people that stopped them being Premiership last year was Sandwell.
And that was a pretty extraordinary second half comeback.
And they were down 21-0.
20-0 to EKP at half time, and Sandwell came back and won 21-20. It was actually an unbelievable game as well, by all standards. So yeah, they're definitely one of these teams that's going to be looking for promotion, looking to get promoted next season as well. So,
but having played them in 2019, the biggest difference I find between them and every other team we've played is that at wide receiver, I could make a catch and have time to turn around, make a move, make a run. Against East Kilbride, every time I caught the ball, even though I got open and caught the ball, I got absolutely leveled immediately. And it wasn't just by one player, it was by multiple. And really, that's what they're built on the defense. They just swarm you.
Yeah.
And really, the introduction of, I know we've said this before, but we played with a cornerback in Aberdeen that's moved there. And to my mind, he's the best cornerback I've seen play football in Scotland at the very least. He is extremely talented. He hits like a truck, and really that extra bit of him at corner might make a difference for the Wolves really struggling to catch anything. If they can't run the ball, at least Kilbride Pirates will probably win this one. I think it'll be close though.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these. Can you really say home field or away advantage? It's not a huge journey for either side. EK by all reports looked really good, but we could also say that with the weather being grim, that kind of takes away from some of what the Wolves like to do in a passing front. It's also meant to be grim tomorrow by the looks of it. It's not meant to be nice either. I think it's going to be tight again, but it once again, like it sounds so cliche, but it's going to come down to the trenches. It's going to come down to who wins in the trenches. And, we know how good the Wolves offensive line can be. And if they get going early, then they could sneak it. But I guess it's easier to win on the defensive side of the ball than it is on the offense. So it's going to be close. I'm going to side with the Wolves, even though I did last time and got it wrong, but it's going to be super close.
But the thing is it was 14-0 East Kilbride last time? So the Wolves have to win by more than 14 points to be declared our
official Kings
of Scotland. So
to retain the crown.
Yeah, it needs to be a 14-point swing. So that'll be interesting. But it's certainly our game of the week. It should be a really tough game either way. Right, we'll go on to our other fixtures now. There's only 4 or 5 of these in total. So we'll go on to those. Have you just closed the window?
No, it's still open. I'm going to look at something. I was trying to see if I could open a link.
So what we've got is I think we've got 4 or 5 games by this week that we'll talk through. Chris wants to show everybody something he was talking about last week. So we spoke about a block last week that was added in from Grant was watching. Then here you go, Grant. This is how you cut somebody.
This is a guy I used to play with in Aberdeen. I'll just share my screen again. I know right now he doesn't play anymore. I think he's kind of hoping to get back into it, and I really hope he does. And this is a cut block from him, and I wish the sound worked on this properly, because you hear the guy's kneecaps leave the rest of his body, and it was absolutely brutal. Not only that, he's saving my sweet ass at the same time, so I'm double thankful for it. But the edge rusher here and the tailback here, and it's a thing of absolute beauty. So if I can just make sure I'm on the play button. Little return motion to the other side, because we thought we were super fancy. Comes out, chops him down, and I love everything about it. One more time just for fun, because I said I would show it. Edge comes off, he commits straight to the block, chops with the kneecaps, and the defender lands on his head. So I loved that play when it happened. So I said last week when we were speaking about the cut blocks, I would show it. So that one's there.
Yeah, OC, you're right here, Russell. Before you go up, the OCs will be the comment above.
The comment above, yeah.
The OCs will be in around their money if the weather's bad tomorrow.
It was a few years ago, to be honest, Grant. You're probably right, to be honest. But yeah, you're sucking the fun out of the cut block here. It was about the cut block, but
you know what was illegal, Grant, is the quality of your video last week.
It should be illegal. Actually, with Grant being here, I believe I've seen a post that he's taken up a position on the GB coaching team as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen that this week. So, congratulations, Grant. Good to see guys getting appreciated for what they do. It's all right. We'll forgive you on this occasion. But yeah, we'll go through
our games.
And I say there's not many this week at all.
Five games.
So we'll start off with the only English/Welsh game going on this week. It's the Bristol Aztecs and the South Wales Warriors.
Yeah, and really this shouldn't be a competition. I think at the moment, South Wales are up there as one of the most hated teams in Britball at the moment, and it is slightly a shame because it's tarred by really one guy, but they've been a tough defense for a couple of years now, and they've obviously in division still should have too much for them. Now Bristol obviously finally moved up our power rankings a couple of weeks ago after Birmingham put on such a good show against Leicester, and then they were lucky that there was no power rankings last week, because I think they'd probably dropped down again after Bulls drawing with Swindon. But that's the way it is. I will put out end of season power rankings once we see who wins between East Kilbride and the Wolves, because that could have an effect on who finishes in the top 10. But it wasn't worth the putting out this week because everybody just moans that there's no changes on it. So I'm not putting in the work for you guys just to moan at no changes. So I'll put one out at the end of the season for who is the top 10 and the outsiders to look for next season. So game 1, I think Bristol won quite comfortably.
I think it was a bit closer than we expected, though. I think it was slightly closer than the score with the Bulls. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head, which is rare. But yeah, it wasn't. It was a bit closer than I think most people expected. The South Wales defence did a good job, but it was still a comfortable enough Bristol Aztecs win last time out.
They're at home. They're playing South Wales, who are a Division 1 team. They should comfortably win. They might not. I'd say it might be the case where last game of the season they throw out as many boys that haven't had any game time as they can. But we never know. We'll see. But it'll be a Bristol Aztecs win either way for me.
Yeah, it's going to be the same for me. They've looked decent all year, but they should, given the competition that they've been up against. But you can only play what's in front of you, and they've done enough when they've been playing those guys. That they've been rotating the squad. So yeah, they should win the game. It should be fairly comfortable, but it'll be a Bristol Aztecs win. Just no problem, Grant. I say good to see you guys getting recognised, and also congratulations message from Russell for you. Next game. I am super excited about this game, actually, and I know most people tuning in will probably be like, who, what, when, where, how, why, for a game up in the west coast of Scotland. But this should be a cracker, and I am actually looking forward to it. Inverclyde got promoted at the end of the 2019 season. Glasgow got promoted at the end of the 2017 season. Both teams have had fairly similar results. Glasgow ran the Pirates a lot closer last time out than they did the first time. I heard there was many, many, many penalties. I think somebody mentioned somewhere in the region of 24 serious ones, as in 15-yarders. So, I think we're talking about a lot of penalties there. Yeah. So it's this will be, it should really be a really close game. The Tigers, kind of looking back to 2019, they struggled a bit. They won a couple, they lost a couple. They were far better at home than they were away.
Far better.
But Inverclyde, they had they really in their first season in 2019, they kind of grew up as the season went on. They got into the playoffs and then they went all the way. Who do I think is going to win? I think the Goliaths. I actually think the Goliaths might win this. I think it'll be close. I don't think there'll be that many points, but I think the Goliaths might win.
Well, I'm in the same boat. And purely from what we've seen before is that Glasgow don't tend to be as good away from home. And although, as much as we say it is the Glasgow area for Inverclyde, it's a bit of a travel north, but it's still Glasgow. It's still that kind of area. And really, I think Inverclyde are really good at running the ball. And from when we've played Glasgow in the last while, it's kind of been the run that's succeeded. We've had some big run games against them. So I think if that trend continues, then I think Inverclyde will properly put up some points in the run game. The only thing I can say that maybe helps Glasgow out is that when we watched Inverclyde in the final against Halton in the first half really did a number on them because they're setting the same coverage every time. Now, if Glasgow figured that out, then you can play against that. Yeah. But again, you've to stop them scoring. Yeah. So I think it will be Inverclyde by a touchdown or two.
And I certainly think from the Glasgow we've seen over the years, they're a much better running team than they are a passing team, which obviously kind of suits what Inverclyde want to do as well. So we're going to wait and see. We could, it should be a good game. I think it'll be tight. Either way.
I don't think these teams have ever played each other before, have they?
No, I don't believe, unless there was like a pre-season or part of the associate process. They've not played each other in a competitive game anyway.
Yeah, so be interesting to see that one anyway. Chris,
there's my dude. How's it going, Chris?
Are you still sore?
I hope you're feeling fresh for tomorrow, man. Yeah, he's with us on this one. He thinks Inverclyde for the win. So yeah, and as I say, it should be a good game.
Yeah. Next game is our one. We can talk a little bit about it because we've not got a guest running this week. But obviously we don't want to be painting any targets on the back of anyone's heads. Dumfermline, we've never played them before. I think Clyde Valley have, though.
Yeah, they played them right at the end of 2019's, like the kind of the end of the associate process sort of thing. Yeah, that's going to be a long ass bus journey for you up there.
Straight up the A9. he's saying Clyde Valley Blackhawks for them. Thanks very much. I think we've never played them before personally, but Clyde Valley have played them in their associate process. But they have, like, they went up to Highland, they beat Highland. They've got better as the season goes on, and we're quite happy to say this, that we're going to be on the sideline coaching against probably one of the best coaches that's been in the GB game, and Don Edmonston. How much he's actually coaching from the sideline, or if he put together a game plan. Either way, that obviously is going to be a battle of the minds, that one.
Yeah, I mean, I seen him down last week.
We seen him
with some of his crew. We seen you down. I mean, he's a hard man to miss, to be fair, but we seen him and his guys down catching sort of the second half of our game against the Hunters. So we're looking forward to it. It should be a really good game again. The weather is probably going to play a large part as well, in the respect that the last time I looked, it was meant to be absolutely horrendous down in Dumfermline tomorrow, which is just joyous for everybody involved. So
football weather.
Yeah, football weather, as they say. Obviously, I'm disappointed that I'm not playing the rest of the season, because I was looking forward to going up against my guys Douglas and Ben. I'm pretty sure Douglas said he had at least one sack with my name on it before the season started. So I'm disappointed I won't get to play against them, but I'll still be there, and I'll be try to do bits from the sideline anyway.
Yeah, either way, it'll be a physical game. I remember I actually seen someone speaking about it this week and saying about the Scots, and he's saying that the Scots just want to batter you on every play. And like, it is like that. Like, we've found in the past that we play teams up here, and every time you go into a game up here, it's a battle. And even if you're getting beat by a lot of points, you're still laying up big hits, and you're just always sore the next day. So it'll be an interesting game tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. Travel down tomorrow morning and get that game going. The last game this week
is the most northern team in Scotland against the most southern team in Scotland. So, as Chris was alluding to, that is a horrific bus journey for him tomorrow. So at
least it's a straight line.
Yeah, but but it's a very long.
It's a very long straight line. Yeah, straight line up the A9.
Bring plenty of bus snacks. Plenty of bus snacks for you on that one, because that's going to be a long ass day.
Yeah.
We almost keep sounding like we're repeating ourselves a bit, but both these teams are extremely physical sides. There are a horrifying amount of similarities between the offenses that these teams run, and there is a horrifying amount of similarities between the defenses that these teams run. If I'm honest, there's Ben. I'm looking forward to seeing you, man. I'll be good to see you. If I'm being honest, bearing in mind they both also play in dark green, you could probably mistake them for the same team if you
actually, that's a good point. What are they doing tomorrow?
Yeah, dark green on dark green. Is anyone, somebody from Highland or Dumfries, Chris, if you're there, are one of you like sourcing an alternative jersey or something? Because that's going to be a bit difficult with the green on green situation. So everyone in our division plays in green or purple, or in Dumfries' case, green and purple. That'll be an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, they play extremely similar styles. Both with very athletic, elusive quarterbacks. They like to run the ball, particularly sort of around the outsides. And have good guys on the outside for the receiver position. They both play that sort of 5-man defensive front with
five.
Let's just say many.
Five and a half, I think, Russell. By Boss. We drove from Aberdeen. We were 4 hours 15 minutes, and at the speed limit, obviously. But the bus, I think, is at least 5 hours. Maybe I think it may be even longer than that, because it's not just Inverness. it's like another half an hour past Inverness. That their field actually is. So I think it's 5 hour journey.
I'm not going to lie, just out of the corner of my eye, I just seen a literal play of the week made by an All Miss wide receiver that he just one-handed on the sideline. It was absolutely beautiful.
Against Alabama as well.
It's
sorted, but we were in the league first. They should get a chance.
So I reckon that means you must be changing then, Chris. So they both run that 5-man front. They both like to blitz the middle linebacker, which I became very much aware of in 1.25 games. So, it should be an interesting contest between the two, especially with the size of the journey. I'm going to lean towards the more experienced side in the Hunters. But whether that journey takes its toll, I'm not sure. But I'll go side with the Hunters.
Well, I'm going to go against you. I think two things are going to be the difference here, and I think the journey is one, and numbers. I think that the Highland Stags team is way bigger than it has been in the past, and number two is number 35. If 35 is playing, I think he is the biggest difference maker for Highland, and if they have a bigger squad and him running at you constantly, he's like a little bowling ball. He's very hard to tackle. He's very hard to bring down. And really, you can't see him behind the offensive line until he's through at you. So if he is there and he's got a full contingent of Highland Stags blocking for him, I think that they might edge this one. But Dumfries are the more experienced team. They might adjust this really fast. There you go, Luke. Tom, nice to see you, Tom. Tom says 35 is playing. So I think for me, that's the biggest difference. If Dumfries can't stop 35 running the ball, I think Highland will win this one.
As I say, it should be a really close game. I mean, all the games in Scotland should be really close this week as well. So it should be still an entertaining week, even with the lack of games going on.
Yeah. I think we've not got any cancelled games this week. We've not got any game day live this week. But basically, this is our last show this season. We've obviously put in a lot of work to this, and we write a load of articles. So we'll still put out our articles over the next couple of weeks until the season finishes. We got some exciting news today, so we'll share that in the coming days of what's going on. And really, it could be something really good for us and Gridiron Hub. But really, we don't have anything else to go through just now. So one thing we will say is thank you very much for everybody for watching this year. We've obviously changed from being just on YouTube to being doing this live show. We might have to change the day we do it, the night we do it next year, purely because of things we're going to have on. For instance, I'm a swimming coach, so all our swimming competitions are starting up again on Saturdays and Sundays. But also, the people that were looking out for the charities, the sponsors, Brain Injury Grampian, obviously we do our own company, Technical Sports Services, that do analysis of games and stuff. And then we've got our Feel Better Tour, which unfortunately we've not been able to donate much money to because Chris got croaked after a game and a bit. But we'll obviously keep them involved and keep putting them out in posts as we go through. So I guess from us, thanks very much for the season, guys. Look out for some of our articles coming out about the rest of the season and for next season. We've got some interesting ones already in the pipelines for next season. And as I said, we're down in London in a couple of weeks, so we'll try and get in touch with some of you that we spoke to before and see if we can arrange a meetup when we're down. Until probably April next year.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll do sort of a preview at some point, and depends on, a couple other things. But, it's yes, smooth little change there, Russell, at the end there, the little edit. But no, we try. The end of the day, all we can do is get the information from you guys. We're trying to help teams and players and coaches sort of get the recognition and the visibility that all teams deserve. So the more you give us, the more we can work with that. So,
You've obviously typed it in too much.
But you know, and it's been good for us. We've really enjoyed it. Well, yeah, we will be doing something on this.
Yeah, but probably going to be like we don't have, to be honest, Jerry, we don't have the skills
to put something together.
To put something like that together. So
it's actually nice to see a message from a wife that's not, "Have you done the dishes yet?" But it's normally because the answer is no. But no, it's you know, it's been really good to try to get to cover as much as we can of your teams, and obviously the guys sending in plays. It's been great, and you know, we hope to keep doing this and keep elevating the platform, you know, and kind of covering as much as we can. And hopefully everything's kind of back to some sort of normal next year, and the league structures return to what they are, and my knee structure returns to what it's supposed to be as well.
Knees structure.
Well, the left knee feels fine now, but the right knee's gone this time. So, you know, it's been good fun. We've enjoyed it. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers,
appreciate Chris. That. I don't know what you could possibly be finding funny, Russell.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, again, you know, Tom, we hope the Stags are successful, and you know, obviously that would mean we'll see you next year as well. It's been good for us. We've really enjoyed doing this, and you know, the more you guys put into it as well, the more we can put into it, and the more we can kind of you know, help grow the game from there, which is ultimately what we do it for. So you know, thanks for obviously all your input this year, and it's been fun.
Yeah, and we'll end it there, guys. I hope you are all off to watch the college football, and as I say, good luck to everybody the rest of their seasons, and keep an eye out for our stuff, and we'll see you again next season. Thank you very much. Catch you later.